Thank you very much. I kind of just wanted to give a brief little talk here about making the jump from affiliate to advertiser. Basically, since this is Affiliate Summit, most of us started as affiliates. And there's always that question, it's like, do I want to make this, next move to not just be an affiliate anymore, quote unquote, the bottom of the food chain, even though that's really not true. Affiliates are extremely important, of course. So really you have to ask yourself, what your specialty is. What do you like to promote? What's the barrier to entry into getting into the advertiser side of that? You have to assess your abilities about that, and sometimes just staying as an affiliate is quite honestly the best move. I mean, if you don't have the resources, or if you don't have the wherewithal or just the information available to you to start something as large as maybe having a gigantic e-commerce site or shipping out thousands of different products, it's not always the best move if you're just best staying put. So really, based on what your specialties are, you have to find out what does it take to get started in that in the actual advertiser or a merchant side of things. Is it a physical product? Is it a digital product or service like an ebook? Is it lead generation? And how capital intensive is it? Mostly physical products typically are the most capital intensive, of course. Digital products still have a bit, but lead gen tends to be, of course, the least capital intensive except for software. How much manpower does it require? Of course, anything physical is usually going to require the most, just based on the fact that you'll have a product, you'll need to have it manufactured, or you'll have it custom made, printed, etc. for you, shipped, customer service will have to be provided. Digital products and services still, of course, have very similar requirements, but it's more about the actual design of the digital product. Is it a website? Is it an ebook? Or subscription site? Lead gen, are you going to require phone service? Will you need call agents to actually take these leads? And how automated is it? How involved do you want to be in the process? Do you just want to be the affiliate basically and have this product, service, or lead gen site and drive the traffic to yourself? Or do you really have the time and energy to manage, dozens of people potentially, different products that you need to keep in line, etc.? So for physical products, there's several steps that a lot of people don't think about that you'll have to avoid the pitfalls to. The first one, of course, is sourcing the product. Sourcing a product is one of those that can be pretty difficult to do. Are you having it custom manufactured? Are you just having it drop shipped? Are you, for instance, having to have it imported? Will you have to deal with customs? Will you have to deal with the tariffs that come with customs? I've had to deal with all of the above, and it's not always pleasant, but sometimes for what you do, it needs to get done. Will you handle the fulfillment in-house? Will you outsource it to a fulfillment provider? Or as I mentioned earlier, will you do drop shipping, where it's not really your product technically, but you'll have the manufacturer of it will put your logo, your name, and your return address on the shipping label, on all of the packaging, etc. for you. What are your customer service requirements for this? Will you just be able to do email, or is it a very intense type of product that's going to require phones? Is it going to be a 9 to 5? Is it going to be a 24-hour customer service? Are you selling in other countries? So you'll have to have foreign language speaking customer service. You'll have to have customer service that fits the time frame and the time zones that you sell in. Will you need software? Will it be e-commerce software? Do you go with a custom solution? Do you go with something open source like Magento that has a potential to move up? Open source cart software is it's very good, but there's also a lot of pitfalls to it in itself. It's such as support. So what happens if it breaks? Do you have a coder on staff that's going to be able to support this type of thing? Is it something that has a lot of documentation with it that you can handle yourself? Do you know PHP? Do you know, ASP? Do you know MySQL? All of the above? Or will you just go with a provider such as Volusion? A third-party software as a service provider can often be the easiest for people getting involved. Or will you need a CRM? Is it something as complex that requires subscription billing? We know subscription billing for such as a website or just a product you're going to mail out. What kind of payment processing do you need? Is PayPal sufficient for you? Are you worried about PayPal possibly freezing your funds? I actually spoke on that in a previous talk. Or do you need a different provider, such as just a standard merchant account through a bank or through a processor, an ISO or IPSP? Can this be done from home, or do you really need a lot more than that? Do you need an office, a physical location? Do you need to have employees on site all the time for this? Or is it something that you can ship out of your home? So for instance, if you decide to ship out of your home and do a small product or something that you can do within, without having to have semi-truck deliveries, for instance, will you be putting your return address as your home? So what happens if you get an upset customer? You might have to deal with a customer finding where your house is or coming to you or giving you a phone call to your house or putting your house address on blast on the internet when they're not happy with you. So will you need a P.O. box if you're working from home? Or will you use, just like I said, the fulfillment provider? There's plenty of outsourcing providers out there. Digital products, like I said, have very similar requirements, so except without the fulfillment. Ebooks, subscription sites, software, apps for your phones, etc. How are you going to develop this product? Is it going to be something that you need to hire a writer for? Is it something that you need to write? Will you have a designer on staff, or will you be designing everything for yourself? Will it require intense coding? Will it require membership access? Will you use something like a member, for instance, or will you be developing a custom solution to provide membership to people? Apps, will you have, will you release it for iPhone or Android, or will you do both or attempt to do both and have a coder that can handle both platforms, since one is completely different than the other? Will you need payment processing? A lot of people with the digital products, especially ebooks, like to go with ClickBank, for instance. Is ClickBank sufficient for you? Will they, their rates are very high, but they also handle the billing support for a lot of people. So when you're billing support, I go down to customer service here in a second, but if ClickBank or another provider, there's a couple others, I believe ClickSure is another relatively new one out there, will they be providing the customer service for you for the billing, and you'll just be handling the actual product questions? So when a customer has a question about the ebook, emailing you in, will they be just emailing you in? Will you have phone support with it? If you don't use something like ClickBank, if you just have PayPal or a merchant account, you'll have to provide some sort of service along with it, be it just email or phone for billing. Software needs. What's your CRM needs? Do you need a shopping cart? Do you need to even bother with that if you're going to use a provider like ClickBank that really tracks everything for you? And then another vertical of lead gen. What vertical of leads are you going to be picking? Is it financial? Is it student loans? Is it mortgages, etc.? Is it legal? Are you going to be sending leads to law firms? Are you familiar with law firms that can do that, etc.? How are you going to find these lead buyers? So a lot of people drive this traffic to many of these lead gen sites, and they're not exactly sure where it goes. Are they sending it to an auto insurance company, or are they sending it to an aggregator? Are you going to be the aggregator, or are you going to directly find these lead buyers that are interested in actually picking up the leads that you have? What are your software needs, including, especially in lead gen, you're going to need something known as a ping tree if you plan on working with multiple lead buyers. So that ping tree, all it basically would do is it would attempt to send the lead to one buyer, and if it failed, it would go to the next and to the next and to the next. There are a few different software providers for ping trees out there, or you can have your own custom coded. You can order it based on who is going to provide you with the highest dollar per lead, or you can order it based on who's able to buy the most leads per day, or any kind of custom order. Anti-fraud is extremely important in lead gen as well. So how are you going to make sure that if you're getting affiliate traffic, or you just don't have a competitor out there that's trying to ruin your leads, for instance, which happens quite frequently, are you going to make sure that all of your leads are verified? How are you going to verify them? Are you going to have them sent through a database of just information about the people that are filling out? Or are you going to call out every single lead, which many of the providers here do? Are you going to be able to call them and see, is like, this is a real person, before passing it on? And oftentimes that can be worth it, because live transfers of interested people are worth often twice as much as just an interested lead form. As I mentioned below, live transfers versus strictly digital. The requirements to perform live transfers: are you going to lease a call center? Are you going to do it in-house? Leasing a call center, for instance, can be pretty expensive, but it can also end up saving you a lot of money in the long run, rather than hiring your own, handling taxes, payroll, et cetera, et cetera. Live transfers are often preferred just because you have that person on the phone right then. You don't have to worry about calling them at an off hour, et cetera. You can get them right then, the close rate is higher, and the lead is much more valuable. Are your leads exclusive, semi-exclusive, or non-exclusive? Of course, buyers always prefer exclusive leads, but it's not always the best to do. Exclusive just means that they're the only ones who will ever receive that lead. So semi-exclusive is you might sell it off to 2, maybe 3 buyers. So it just means that they have a higher close percentage than the next. So non-exclusive is when you are just taking that lead and putting it out there for any buyer to use as they please. So of course, exclusive leads are going to cost the most, followed by semi-exclusive, followed by non-exclusive. What's your marketing plan for your product or service? Are you going to do all of the traffic internally? If you're an affiliate that wanted to move into the advertiser space, if you're going into a product or service that you know personally, there's almost no reason not to do internal traffic. Of course, we need to stick with affiliates as well. This is Affiliate Summit after all, so why would we want to cut them out? There's the good, the bad, and the ugly of affiliates and affiliate networks, basically. They'll get you a lot of volume, and it can often be very, very good volume, but you can also deal with a lot of things such as fraud. So that's why you need to have that fraud prevention and control in place to make sure that if you use an affiliate or affiliate network, you're not going to have garbage coming in, because as we know, garbage in, garbage out. Are you branding? Are you going to have a brand identity, and do you need to protect your brand? So if you're just doing a standard lead gen form, if you're just not trying to brand it out, you really don't need to worry about this too much. So affiliates may not have as much of an issue with that type of thing, depending on promotion methods. But when you have a product or service that you're trying to brand into something that you want to be a longer term type of thing that will outlast just standard affiliate traffic, outlast standard media buying, you need to make sure that your affiliates, your own traffic as well, your customer service, etc., are up to the task of making sure that your brand is being protected. That's one of the most important things, because all of a sudden, if you start Googling your company name or your service name and you see rip-off report, rip-off report, rip-off report, just because you had bad customer service, even though you're not actually ripping people off, it will really heavily cause an impact on you. So really, what's left? Management. People in-house and outsourcers. How are you going to manage if you're doing all in-house? If you're doing it all yourself, then it's just more about time management than anything. How are you going to make sure that you have the time to handle the shipping, the customer service, the coding, the design, everything? Or if you have customer service agents, or if you're dealing with outsourcers, be it an outsourcing provider or you're dealing with a virtual assistant, for instance. How will you manage them? Do you have the time to manage them? Do you have to bring in someone else to manage these people for you? How do you grow and expand when you have a product or service? Are you going to launch more offers and more products and services, and how are you going to manage those while you have all of the others that took up what seemed like 12 hours a day as well? So that's at the point where you have to bring in more and more people, and it probably is going to outgrow your house by that point. Are you going to go into other verticals? Are you going to, if you're a lead gen provider, are you going to start getting away from auto insurance, for instance, and do life insurance and student loan and debt consolidation, etc.? Or if you're a product owner, are you going to move from selling, I don't know, phones into diet products? And are you going to support the affiliate system? I mean, that's a big question. Everyone is I hear a buzz about a lot of people being concerned about cutting out affiliates and just going direct. That's not the wisest thing to do, of course, because if you started as an affiliate, it's really, you know how the system works. You should just always do what's best for yourself, of course, first off, making sure that your traffic is high quality. But if you need volume, affiliates are probably the best. So I wanted to keep it a bit short. I wanted to see if anyone has any questions. Welcome to step up to the microphone. I've actually done all of the above. I've moved from advertiser to affiliate to advertiser. I've been an affiliate manager. So I really have some good experience in the space, and it's a lot of fun to do all of the above. Any questions?
What does your company do?
We do just about everything. I have some of my own products and services. We do call center shipping. We do all of the above, really. Anyone? Well, thank you very much, and I hope you guys have a good rest of the summit.